Welcome back to our channel. Today's story is something no one in K-biz was prepared for. In the middle of the wedding aisle, right before hundreds of stunned guests, Hyo-joo suddenly dropped to her knees in front of Kang Dong-won. And the shocking reason behind this moment has sent the entire industry into chaos. What really happened inside that ceremony? You're about to find out. So don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because this is a moment that will leave you breathless from start to finish. The wedding of Kang Dong-won and Hyo-joo was expected to be elegant, romantic, and filled with soft, cinematic beauty, but no one could have imagined the moment that would soon make headlines across all of K-biz. The ceremony began peacefully, with the aisle glowing under warm golden lights and soft strings filling the air as guests whispered excitedly. Yet in the very heart of that serene setting, right when the vows were about to be exchanged, the atmosphere cracked open into something unforgettable, something so powerful that guests stopped breathing. Cameras trembled, and even the wedding staff found themselves frozen in disbelief. All it took was a single sentence from Kang Dong-won to collapse every bit of restraint inside his bride. Kang Dong-won held Hyo-joo hands with a tenderness that already made several guests sigh, and instead of following the script that the MC had prepared, he drew in a slow breath and looked directly into her eyes. At first, the guests thought he had forgotten the lines, but his expression said otherwise. It was the face of a man who had been holding something back for too long. In a voice soft but trembling with sincerity, he said, "I've waited for you for half my life, and if we had missed each other in this lifetime, I would have waited for another one, just to find you again." The words fell into the silent hall like a spark into dry leaves, sudden, overwhelming, impossible to ignore. Hyo-joo's eyes shook as if someone had reached straight into her chest and touched the most fragile part of her heart. She stared at him, her lips parting in shock, and for a moment it seemed she forgot where she was. Then, before anyone could process what was happening, Hyo-joo suddenly dropped to her knees. The audience gasped so loudly it echoed. The MC choked mid-sentence. Someone in the front row covered their mouth in disbelief. The bride, still clutching Kang Dong-won's hands, knelt on the velvet carpet as tears slipped down her cheeks. It wasn't planned, it wasn't staged, it wasn't a dramatic gesture for show. It was pure, uncontrollable emotion, raw enough to shatter the room. She looked up at him from where she knelt, her voice trembling as she whispered, "Why would you say something like that now? You'll make me cry in front of everyone." Her eyes glistened as she tried to smile through her tears, but the weight of the moment was just too much. For several long seconds, Kang Dong-won seemed stunned by her reaction. Then, in a move that only made the moment more breathtaking, he immediately knelt down with her. His suit brushed against the floor as he lowered himself to meet her at eye level, gently lifting her chin with his hand. "You don't have to kneel," he whispered, his voice cracking more than he intended. "Just stay by my side. That's all I've ever wanted." The two of them knelt together in the center of the aisle, surrounded by hundreds of flowers and a sea of silent, trembling breaths. A few guests began to cry. Others clasped their hands to their hearts, unable to believe the sincerity unfolding in front of them. One cameraman later admitted anonymously that his hands shook so hard he was afraid the footage would blur. Within hours, a guest-captured video of the moment exploded online. Every social platform lit up with this belief. People replayed the exact second she fell to her knees, analyzing her expression frame by frame, noting the way her breath caught, the way her fingers clung to his, the way Kang Dong-won's voice softened as he knelt beside her. Comments flooded in by thousands. "This is the most beautiful wedding moment I've ever seen. Who kneels at their own wedding because of love? This is unreal. This looks like the finale of a romance drama." Even international fans who normally didn't follow Korean weddings couldn't stop sharing it. The clip topped trending charts in multiple countries, turning the wedding into a global phenomenon within a single afternoon. Later, when reporters contacted their agencies for an official statement, both sides confirmed that the moment had not been rehearsed at all. A staff member from Hyo-joo's team revealed, "She's very sensitive to genuine words. When someone speaks from the heart, she feels it deeply. That reaction wasn't something she could control." Meanwhile, a close friend of Kang Dong-won disclosed something that left fans even more emotional. He told us once that he would only make a true vow twice in his life, once to his family and once to the woman he marries. I think that's why his voice trembled. A wedding videographer also shared his perspective anonymously, describing what he saw through the lens. "We filmed hundreds of weddings, but I've never witnessed a bride kneeling because the groom's vow overwhelmed her. She looked like someone who had just been handed her entire universe in a single sentence. You could feel the sincerity vibrating in the air." The videographer added that the studio was debating whether to release the full high-resolution footage later, because the raw emotion is too beautiful not to share. By the end of the night, headlines across K-biz were filled with variations of the same theme: the vow that broke the bride's composure, the moment that froze the wedding hall, the love powerful enough to drive a woman like Hyo-joo to her knees. Commentators called it the most unforgettable wedding scene of the decade, while fans declared that no drama could ever recreate something so pure and unrehearsed. Some newspapers even compared it to iconic proposal scenes in classic films, praising the couple for showing that real love can be even more cinematic than fiction. As the couple walked out of the venue hand in hand after the ceremony, their eyes still red and their hands intertwined tightly, it was clear to everyone present that what they had witnessed wasn't just the wedding. It was a moment that would forever be etched into the collective memory of K-biz. A moment born from a single, unexpected sentence. A moment that made a bride fall to her knees. A moment that proved that even in the world of glamour, true emotion can still break through in its purest form. In the hours that followed, guests who attended the wedding began sharing their own recollections of the moment, painting an even more vivid picture of what occurred inside the hall. One stylist, who had worked closely with Hyo-joo for the ceremony, revealed that the actress had been unusually quiet during preparations, as if carrying a weight only she understood. According to the stylist, Hyo-joo had confided earlier that morning, "I'm scared I might cry today. I don't know why. I just feel something huge in my chest." No one, not even the stylist, anticipated that her emotions would spill over so dramatically before the crowd. Another guest, a director who had previously collaborated with both stars, said that the moment she knelt down felt as if two souls were meeting midway, and added that he had never seen Kang Dong-won look so openly emotional in public. He later described the silence in the hall as sacred, a brief pause where even the music seemed to hesitate, waiting for the couple's hearts to settle. Rumors then spread that the vow Kang Dong-won spoke had not been a spontaneous line pulled from thin air, but something deeply personal, rooted in a memory he never shared with the public. One anonymous industry insider claimed that years ago, long before they officially dated, Kang Dong-won once admitted during a private gathering that he felt he had missed the right moments in life. According to this insider, he said, "If someone truly belonged to me, I hope fate gives me another chance, even in another lifetime." Fans began speculating online whether that private confession had been about Hyo-joo, especially since the timeline subtly matched their longtime friendship. The idea that his wedding vow was not just poetic, but genuinely heartfelt sent another wave of emotional chaos across social media. People wrote long threads analyzing their past interactions, old interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage from dramas they worked on, pointing out glances and gestures that now seemed to carry new meaning. The narrative evolved from a viral wedding moment into a sweeping romance story that fans felt they were uncovering layer by layer. Meanwhile, the official wedding videography team released a tiny 9-second teaser clip showing the exact moment Kang Dong-won slowly lowered himself to kneel beside her. In the clip, the camera angle catches their hands tightening together as if clinging for grounding in the middle of overwhelming emotion. Even without audio, the clip conveyed a profound tenderness. Within a single hour, it reached millions of views. International media outlets picked it up, calling it the most emotionally charged wedding clip of the year and comparing the scene to classic romance films. One prominent entertainment columnist wrote, "This was not acting. There was no director calling action. This was raw humanity unfolding in real time." Comment sections filled with messages from couples saying the moment made them want to renew their vows, or from single viewers confessing the scene restored their belief in love. The emotional ripple extended far beyond their fandom into the universal longing for connection and sincerity. By the next morning, representatives from both stars' agencies confirmed they had received dozens of offers from magazines, streaming platforms, and documentary teams eager to cover the behind-the-scenes story of the wedding. However, in a rare united decision, both agencies declined. They stated that the couple wanted the moment to remain untouched and uncommercialized, explaining that some